Kane. The Undertaker. What up, French Mode?
I'm gonna give them my best this week. My teammates gonna be right there with me.
Is it a must-win?
I won't say it's a must win. We're gonna kick their ass though. Make sure you put that up there. We're gonna kick their ass. We're gonna get our best this week. I know last week was tough. The week before that, or whatever. This week, Thursday night, prime time, they're gonna get the Broncos' best.
Wake up, you ain't heard the news. Fast breaks on your screen, always making moves. Von Miller, man, putting himself out there like that. We got the Undertaker music going full force. There's only one reason why the Phenom's music is tolling right now. When a bell tolls, that means someone's going to get buried. And Von Miller made a statement loud and clear. Loud and clear. Now you got to back it up. He said, we're going to kick their ass. You can put it out there, but we're going to kick their ass. They're going to get the Broncos' best shot. That's what Von Miller said. So that Undertaker, Phenom, rest in peace music, that's got to go for the Arizona Cardinals. I already pitchforked them. Pitchforking them means they're done. 1-5 team. Now Denver, that music could also be playing for Denver if they're on the wrong side of the score tonight. As tonight, Thursday Night Football, we have the Denver Broncos visiting the Arizona Cardinals in the desert, in that spaceship of a stadium they have in Glendale, just about 20 minutes down from where I'm at right now. Not going to be at the game. I'm going to watch it at home. Got some things I got to do. Not really. I just didn't want to spend my money on two teams that are trying to figure it out. That's just the truth. One team that understands they're rebuilding in the Arizona Cardinals with Josh Rosen, first round draft pick, quarterback from UCLA, the quarterback that I feel is the best out of the group coming out of college this year in the draft. They can't get things going in the run game with David Johnson because they're not knowing how to use David Johnson. Christian Kirk, young receiver, showing flashes. They connected a couple weeks back on a 75-yard touchdown pass over the top to open up the game. The Denver Broncos, a team that likes to fool their fans. Being real with y'all. Now, the fans, especially Bronco fans, have no patience whatsoever. None. They want results yesterday. The team is rebuilding. Now, John Elway could say, we're going to retool and get back to where we were at. But because he don't want the fans to know that he's rebuilding. And he's trying to cover it up with, a veteran quarterback while he's doing these other things on the side, getting you 2 new running backs, 2 new wide receivers. Kind of wish they had 2 new offensive linemen, because that's where they got to start building it at. Offensive line and defensive line. So you got a team, it's a rebuild, you're 1-5. Hey, the fans understand that, especially Cardinal fans. Let's be real. Most of the Cardinal fans that are Cardinal fans now were not Cardinal fans 12 years ago. 13 years ago. You know, there were some fans that said, let's go look at the stadium. Let's go look at Matt Leinart and Denny Green on Monday Night Football against the Chicago Bears because they are who we thought they were. You let them off the hook. Now you want to crown their ass, then crown them. Those were those fans. And then you got the new wave. Kurt Warner takes the team to the Super Bowl, almost gets that upset victory against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Carson Palmer coming into the fold. Bruce Arians with an aerial assault. David Johnson down your throat. That's the new age fans. Now, I'm pretty sure there are some ride or die Cardinal fans from the early 90s, possibly the late 80s, because the Cardinals have been here since the late 80s. Let's be real with it. So the Cardinals, they're able to rebuild and not get too much pushback, because also the Cardinals really haven't been a winning organization. They've had flashes. They had flashes with Jake Plummer in the late 90s, getting them a playoff victory over the Dallas Cowboys. I like to throw that out there. Yeah, the Cardinals got their playoff victory against the Dallas Cowboys. Jake Plummer. And then you saw again Kurt Warner, who it wasn't even supposed to be Kurt Warner. It was supposed to be Matt Leinart. But Matt Leinart couldn't. It didn't work out. Kurt Warner comes in, man, changes everything. Why? Because he had a winning mentality. He understood what it took to win. And he knew where he came from. He knew that all the struggle he had to get to just to make a team, and then taking a team to the Super Bowl in his first chance at starting with the Rams. When you do something like that, you can do anything. Even take the Arizona Cardinals to the Super Bowl. And that's what he did. That's incredible. Not to mention playoff appearances. Carson Palmer was able to get some of that as well towards the tail end of his career. The 2015 Arizona Cardinals fell short. Everyone thought they were the team that was going to get to the Super Bowl that year, but Carolina proved otherwise. But that was still success for Arizona Cardinals. So Cardinal fans, they understand rebuild. They're able to wait a little bit. Like, hey, man, it's all right. But you got your quarterback. Josh Rosen is your quarterback. Again, I've said it many a times, many occasions. The Denver Broncos should have drafted Josh Rosen at number 5. Bradley Chubb's fine. He's going to be fine. He's going to be a hell of a pass rusher. He's going to destroy the backfield. He did that last week against Jared Goff. But a pass rusher can only do so much. You've seen Von Miller. Can only do so much. You still need help in the middle. And you need a decent quarterback that's playing up to par. And right now, Case Keenum is not playing up to par. And wouldn't that be something that Josh Rosen goes out there on Thursday Night Football and outplays Case Keenum? You don't want that, especially if you're on the Broncos side of things. Now, if you're on the Cardinals side of things or just the NFL, you're like, man, this dude's ready. We got our guy. We got our guy for the next 12 years. And that's what the Cardinals are hoping for. That's what they're putting their chips on. Case Keenum, he has to do it now. It's now or never. He doesn't have that leash. His leash is probably going to go to like week 8 or week 9. That's about it, unless he starts winning. I dare the Denver Broncos to lose this game, see what happens tomorrow. I dare them to lose this game. Or even struggle to where the game is in the balance in the fourth quarter, and you have to come back and win this. There's going to be changes. You got 10 days to prepare for a Kansas City Chiefs team that is the best in the AFC. All things considered. Yeah, they lost to New England on the road by 3 points because Brady had the ball last. But that thing could change in Arrowhead. They still got the best record, Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC. So you got that coming down the pike for the Denver Broncos. They got to figure things out. See, this is a very tricky game for the Denver Broncos Cardinals, this is a game where it's like, let's just go out there and, man, nothing to lose. We're 1-5. We can't run the ball. We can't stop the run. Our offense is sporadic at best because Mike McCoy, the offense coordinator, thinks he has talent galore and he can run all these gadget plays and or just plays that would demand a veteran star quarterback like a Peyton Manning, like a Phillip Rivers, guys that were able to take his offense and take it to the next level. That's why Colt McCoy isn't in Denver anymore. That's why he was only there for half the season last year, because he was trying to run an offense without the talent that he needs to run his offense. And he's kind of doing the same thing with the Cardinals. Now, if he just understood they had David Johnson in the backfield, like, oh my God, I arguably have the best running back in football, but I'm not using him right because my offense is a little bit more important than making things work. Sometimes a good coach understands that it's not about your offense and people getting it, but it's about putting the right people in the right position to succeed. That's a leader. Now, quarterback Josh Rosen can only run the play that's given to him. He doesn't have the experience nor the knowledge at this point. He'll get it, but he doesn't have it at this point to go out there and change a play. Oh, can you imagine him changing the play, the shellacking he would take by the team, or just Mike McCoy? Mike McCoy calling an offense like he was Colt McCoy. That's what it's looking like. Now, at some point, you would like to be able to install your offense, but sometimes when you start out and you feel you're a great coach and you're a very heady coach, sometimes you have to, for lack of better terms, dumb it down. And once they're able to run it, and then you can start implementing all the little things that you like to implement in your offense. That's what you do if you're a hell of a coach. But if you're a stubborn coach and it's just like it's my way or the highway, it's not going to work. You're getting fired from teams, so you're going to lesser teams that are going to give you a shot. So there's a reason why they're a lesser team, because they have lesser talent. So that means you have to adapt as a coach. Mike McCoy has to adapt. Let's just be real with it. And I could talk about this because he was the offense coordinator for the Broncos. So I saw it firsthand on 2 separate occasions. It worked the first time around with Manning. But the second time around, with Trevor Siemian, Brock Osweiler, Paxton Lynch, no. They look worse than the year before when they didn't have Mike McCoy and Gary Kubiak was running things. Sometimes you have to understand the talent you have on your team, put them in the best position to succeed. Going back to the Broncos. They finally figured that out with Bradley Chubb last week. They were trying to put him in coverage, though he's never done that. He's a pass rusher. He's going to disrupt the backfield. But in the first 4 or 5 games, they were having him trying to read coverage. He was still pass rushing, but not at the extent that he should have been. And then this past week, they said, you know what, do what you're supposed to do. Do what you're good at. And he only ended up with 3.5 sacks. That's it. Shoot. Von Miller had 1.5 sacks. That's it. Shoot. You got to let players do what they do best. Don't draft a guy and say, I have the potential to create this guy and make him something more or turn him into something else, and don't draft him. If you like what he provides, start with that and then start to implement so that they grow naturally, man. That's just what it is. You're not going to buy an apple tree and expect it to grow oranges because that's what you want. Go get an orange tree. That's just how it works. Sometimes these coordinators, these coaches, these GMs outsmart themselves. Like, look what I'm going to do. I'm going to get this guy, but I'm going to put him over here, and I'm going to trick everybody. You're not tricking nobody. You're just dumbing down that player to his actual potential. And then you're making him doubt that he's any good at all, so he never gets out of his way. I.e. Paxton Lynch. Now, many will say he's just not that good enough, which is a fact up to this point. But I don't think he was put in the right position to succeed. I think he was put there with a coach that said, we can't do nothing with this. We can't do anything with this guy. As opposed to saying, okay, Paxton, what are you good at? What are you comfortable with? Well, I'm comfortable running RPO and either handing off, throwing a slant, or taking off. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. And while you're doing that in the game, we'll start to add, little intricacies to your game that are going to be necessary for you to succeed in the future. But we can get by with what you're strong at right now. But no, they drafted an apple tree and they wanted to turn him into a tangerine tree. That's what they did, like that. You cannot do that. You have to call it what it is. To me, when you draft a player high and he doesn't pan out, that's an organization problem. I mean, unless the player has issues off the field and just doesn't want to get it, and is getting in trouble, immature, that's totally different. But when you have a young player like a Paxton Lynch, and I know I'm going off on this, but this is just the whole basis of it. The reason why these teams are struggling is because they're trying to make players do something they're not used to or they're just not good at. And that's why they're bad. You can't tell me that the talent from team ranked number 30 is that much more of a team that's ranked in the top 10 and that's causing that type of play. No, that's part of the development. That's part of the coaching. At some point, you have to understand what you have in front of you. Don't force these guys to go out there and create something out of nothing. That's just what it is. You have to understand your talent. And if you don't have the talent that you need, then switch it out. But don't force it upon, the player and or the fans that are actually the ones that are watching the games. So they finally figured it out with Bradley Chubb, you're going to pass rush. That's why we drafted you. Oh my God, that's what you do. Great. Then do it. Come on, man. Let's be real with it. Have Undertaker come in there and tombstone you coaches, you organizations, for not knowing what the heck is going on, resting in peace. Come on. It's not that difficult. Now, I'm not a GM. I'm not a coach. I can't teach a wide receiver the route tree. But I understand what someone's good at. And I understand what someone's not good at when I tell them to do something and that they can't do it. So I'm saying, okay, let me give you something you're comfortable with. And once you get that comfort level to a certain, to a certain peak, then we start adding more things. That's the only way you grow. You cannot force growth. You cannot force something into, what's that whole saying? Forcing a round thing into a square thing or something like that, a peg. I suck at that, but I'm just telling you, you understand what I'm saying. You're not going to put a square into a circle. The little thing with a block, you can't do that. A round hole in a square peg, something like that, man. You understand what I'm saying. But Denver Broncos, Arizona Cardinals tonight, you're talking about two defenses that have really lost their way. When you talk about trying to stop the run, especially the Denver Broncos, who have nearly given up 600 yards in the last 2 weeks combined. That's some college football terrible defense when you give up 250 plus 2 weeks in a row. 200-yard rushers 2 weeks in a row. Never been done before in the history of the NFL. And you look at the talent on that defense, and it shouldn't be that way. So what's actually going on? Are they not responding to the coaching, or are the coaches trying to grow an apple tree when they bought an orange tree? Whatever. You understand my analogies. Not my allergies, my analogies. So it's been known, it's been said, it's been seen. You can't stop the run. Both sides. So what are the offenses going to do? Are they going to outsmart themselves and try to throw and forget about the run like the Broncos have done, like the Cardinals have done, or they just simply don't know how to use David Johnson. David Johnson got to use him more in the pass game. Come on now. That's just what it is. Ricky Seals-Jones, like the tight end for the Arizona Cardinals, a great pass catcher, but he can't block. So quit asking him to block on run plays. Bring in a blocking tight end. Quit forcing the issue. It's not going to work. What do I expect to happen in this game? It's very simple. Is whoever forces their will on the other team first is going to win this game. Whoever's trying to fill the game out and seeing what's going to happen, well, I'm just going to see what the defense gives me, or I'm going to see what the offense gives me, then I'm going to react. That's the team that's going to get that, you know what, handed to them. Because I could easily say this can be a very boring game and be like 13-10, which is possible. But I truly believe that tonight, a lot's going to be shown. One way or another. And that means the Denver Broncos going out there, winning by 17 points, or they go out there and they're flat on the road, no heart, and the Cardinals win this by a couple touchdowns. That's all I see. I do not see this going down to the wire. Something's going to change tonight. So if that's the only reason why you tune in, because nobody wants to watch a 1-5 team against a 2-4 team, that's why you tune in. To figure out who is going to continue to fall and fall hard. Now the Cardinals, again, rebuild. If they end up losing 31-14, it's expected. But if it's the other way around and the Cardinals pull this one out 27-17, the Cardinals are going to be flying high. Could be a mirage, but they'll be flying high, and the Denver Broncos will be buried. The Denver Broncos will be so much, there will be so much change tomorrow if that were to happen. I think any type of loss to the Arizona Cardinals, you're going to see change in the next 24 hours. It doesn't matter what you think, or how they lost, or why they lost, or what could have changed. None of that's going to matter anymore. That's just a fact. I'm just keeping it real with y'all. At the end of the day, and we all know at the end of the day, we all know what that means. Because it's always the end of the day. But at the end of the day, if they end up fumbling this game away, this is what's going to happen. Yeah, he's coming for you. With a pitchfork, with a flamethrower, the Reaper, the Undertaker. This is what you're going to get if you find a way to lose this game, Denver. You in for some changes, people getting buried, never to be seen again. He's coming. He's coming for somebody tonight. Oh, yeah. Better take it serious. So that defense for the Denver Broncos, they better get behind Von Miller and Von Miller's words and play with heart. Because I have not seen that. The NFL has not seen that. They're seeing a lot of players just running around saying, I don't want to make that tackle. It's not worth it. And when that starts to happen, it's contagious. And heads got to roll. They'll probably start off with the head coach. But once you get a new head coach, what happens? The new head coach is going to find out who the problem is. And even before he finds out who the problem is, He's going to bring in his players that he can count on, that he doesn't got to worry about. And then from there, start chopping them down. So this isn't the crossroads for the Broncos. This is do or die. This is basically what John Elway said. They're fighting for their football lives. When John Elway says that, you better pay attention. So if the Broncos want things to keep going in the right direction, it's got to be 31-14. No other way about it. Anything less will be uncivilized. That's the armpit deodorant commercial for y'all that don't know. That was awesome how I did it, though. But yeah, so check that out tonight, man. Thursday Night Football is going to be hyped. If anything, if you guys are like, why am I going to watch this game? You're going to see a rookie quarterback who has experience now, a couple games under his belt, to see how he progresses against a team that's struggling against the run, might have some chances over the top. He's showing it with Christian Kirk. He can hit the ball over the top. You're going to have Larry Fitzgerald in this game, healthier than what he has been. He might be a key component to this game tonight. And will David Johnson break out? You got Isaiah Crowell, Todd Gurley, that pounded this team down, just ran the ball up the gut, in your face, smash mouth football, can't do nothing about it. David Johnson might be licking his chops like, man, I might get to 80 yards today if I can get 20 carries. Give me the ball 20 carries, man. Come on, McCoy, what you doing? Let me get 5 catches out the backfield. You might get there. This is a get-right game for one of these two teams. Just a get-right game. Not to say these teams are going to make the playoffs after they win tonight. They got to show a lot more than just tonight. But it's in the fashion that they win tonight, whoever wins tonight. Oh, man, if the Cardinals win tonight, in whatever form or fashion, that's just going to give them, man, the confidence level for these young cats is going to boost up through the roof, man. We might see that, and that's all it takes. All it takes is one game. One game. And it changes the whole outlook of not just your season, but your football career for these players. Because that's what they're playing for. And if not for anything else, for your livelihood, for your manhood, this is what you do for a living. Coaches will take the fall for first, but then the players will come after. That's just the way it works in the NFL. Sometimes the coach has enough clout, has enough pedigree to say, you know what, that player doesn't have it, and that player will go before the coach. But usually it's the other way around. Usually you have these big-name players that'll stay, and the coaches will be the ones that be pushed out because these players can carry out the task at hand. And with all that being said, Case Keenum, this is it for him. This is it. It doesn't matter. Ooh. I should answer that, but I'm not going to. Because we're live here on the Fast Break Sports Hour. Thank you for joining me. On the Fast Break Sports Hour channel, YouTube Live. Thursday Night Football, full effect coming up here in a couple hours. Or like an hour and a half from now. But Case Keenum, this is it. You can put up all the 300-yard games you want. You can pass for 70%, 65%, throw 2 touchdowns and have a pick. But if the win column doesn't have another check mark on it, it might be bye-bye. They might be bringing in the backup. Not to say the backup is better, but change is change. You will not be the Broncos starting quarterback next year if you do not win this game tonight. You might not be the Broncos quarterback for the rest of the year if you do not win this game tonight. And heck, if it's the third quarter and this game is 7-6 and you have 2 picks, that might be the end of you as well. How prepared is Chad Kelly to come into this game? That's the bigger question. Have they prepared him enough if Case Keenum does not get the job done early on and they have the trust to put him in the game? Because you don't want Chad Kelly to go out there and fall on his face. You got to respect him as a rookie, not rookie, but First time NFL player coming into a real live game, you know, real bullets, not preseason. Do you respect him enough to show him the way so that when he comes into the game, he doesn't fall on his face? That's the duty of the coaches, to get him ready. So that's another question. And the Denver Broncos had to stop hitting their, man, they keep stumping their toe on the wall, on a chair, on a table, whatever it is. They stump their toe on something. Run the ball. There is no reason why Royce Freeman should not have 15 carries in this game. There's no reason why Lindsey should not have 12 carries in this game, 5 receptions. None. And there's no reason for Case Keenum to throw the ball 40 times today. That's your recipe for a loss. You want to see 30 rushes, 30 to 32 passes, and that's it. Run the ball more, fine, but do not throw the ball more than 32 times. That's not the recipe for success. It doesn't work that way. It never has been for him. Play action fake. Your run game works. Do the bootleg. Make it work. He's better when you can bootleg. Unfortunately, he's not that good just sitting in the pocket, especially in a pocket that collapses after 1.5 seconds. That's just what it is. Hey, he's fighting for his life too. But figure it out. If you're the quarterback for the Denver Broncos and you're getting paid like one, figure it out. We already know what you're dealing with. Figure it out. No more excuses. And let's get these targets to these new cats, to the Suttons, to the Lindsays. Freeman, man, run the ball. You know Sanders is going to get his. DT is going to get 4 or 5 targets. But Sutton should be getting 6, 7, 8 targets. Sanders, 6, 7, 8 targets. Deshaun Hamilton should get 4 or 5 targets. Start implementing these young guys. Start taking over. Pour new blood into this team. Fresh, clean, outcast. So that's what we got. Denver Broncos, Arizona Cardinals. A lot of things that's going, man, just, I'm a Bronco fan, so I'm hyped for the game. And this is it. I'm hyped because this is it. There isn't any more, well, another week. Well, maybe, no. Better time next. No. There's no more shots. This is it. This is it. 2-5, it's over. Fish. Oh, my God. Pitchfork. Pork or fish? What do you want? I want steak. Pitchfork if they lose. Yeah, I know I can't talk. I suck at it. No, I don't. Thursday Night Football, Denver Broncos at the Arizona Cardinals, starting here shortly. Man, get ready for that. This is going to be a fun game to watch. Believe it or not. Why? It's interconference. Now, if it was Cardinals and 49ers, then you'd be like, man, we don't want to watch this. But it's interconference. These teams don't collide too often. I mean, they collide every preseason, but not when a real live game, when it matters. This matters. And I got the Denver Broncos winning this game, or else they'll be held to pay. I got the Denver Broncos 30, Arizona Cardinals 17. That's what I got, because it has to be that way. I'm sorry. That's just what it is. And I'm not a homer. I picked them to lose to the Rams last week. They lost. I picked them to lose against the Ravens. They lost. Now, the other 2 weeks they lost, I didn't pick them to lose. And I'm not going to pick them to lose tonight because they should win. Don't get it twisted. Von Miller said it. We're going to kick their ass. 31-17, 31-14, whatever you want to call it. That's what I expect for the Denver Broncos if this their get-right game. If they want things to change. If not, heads are going to roll. Maybe some of the fans want that. Maybe the fans prefer a loss and get this over with. Get the loss in, over with, make the changes, finish off 6-10, 7-9, whatever you want to do. Draft in the top 10, and then not draft a lineman or a quarterback that you probably need. So, a lot of things going on tonight. It's going to be interesting to see. Who else is in trouble? Switching things over. Who else is in trouble? Like, who's going to get it? Baseball. ALCS. Houston Astros, defending champions. This is your song. You're down 3-1 to the Red Sox after you took a game in Boston at Fenway. You lost the last two at home. Tonight is do or die. We might be hearing this, man. We're gonna hear the gong, the dong, all that good stuff. You're gonna get it. Are the Astros gonna set the game up and avoid the Reaper, avoid the Undertaker? I'm not sure they will. I got the Red Sox winning tonight, finishing off the Astros, getting to the World Series. Undertaker taking Altuve, little ass, and throwing him. He dug a ditch somewhere. He got everybody, man. They're all gonna be buried by the Undertaker, and they'll all rest in peace. Undertaker's a GOAT. Y'all know that. And he's still doing work. Astros, you're resting in peace. That's it. You're done tonight. And the Brewers might be hearing this song tomorrow. And the Dodgers might be going to the World Series. Woo! You know what I'm saying? But that's all I got for y'all tonight, man. Denver Broncos going to win tonight. Red Sox going to the World Series tonight. Undertaker's the greatest. And if y'all don't like that, I got 3 words for you. Rest in peace. Man, that's my WWE fandom. I love it. I don't care what nobody says. I run this, you know what. Fast Break Sports Hour. Thank you for joining me here live tonight. Thursday Night Football. Woo! Ric Flair. ALCS. Tomorrow, Full Force Football Friday. Where we talk nothing but football, but I might have to throw in the Dodgers Game 6 against the Brewers, where they finish off the Brewers. Because they're 3-2 now. Look at the Dodgers. I didn't talk about it because I don't have to. Kershaw, man, what a game. Everybody throwing flack on him last week for losing. He won last night. 2-1 in the postseason. Dominant performance. Dodgers put up some runs. Loving it. But tonight, Arizona Cardinals. Tonight, Houston Astros. Yeah, they're coming for you. Brewers are coming for you tomorrow. Full Force Football Friday tomorrow. Join me, everybody, here on YouTube. I appreciate you guys joining me here. I'm Fast Break for the Fast Break Sports Hour. I love y'all. Y'all keep loving sports. Keep watching sports. Do all that good stuff. Man, have that good chatter with your friends. Not cheddar. Chatter. Debate. Talk about why your team's better than their team. And dominate them. That's what you got to do. Even you might be wrong, but you got to figure out why you're right. You are what you think you are. Peace.